So I wanted to explain to you the difference between fate and destiny and how that ties in with free will. And this is a really interesting subject to me because it's something that I've studied a lot over the years and something that I've taken note with with the readings that I do, and I've paid attention because it's something that I was taught that life just happens to you. And I don't think anybody taught me that, because I just don't think they knew any better. But the point is that I want to explain to you how this thing works so that you understand how much room you have to create your life, and how sitting around hoping, wishing, and praying might not be the answer for you, and might be the reason why it's taken you so long to get to where you're trying to go, right? So how this works is, let's say, and this is just like a guesstimate, right? That fate, from my understanding, is probably no more than 25% of your life. And it could be way less than that. So fate is things that are on your soul map. People that you will meet, certain careers that you might, or jobs you may work at or come in contact with, family that you're born into or that you choose or chooses you, what else? I mean, there's different things in your life. Sometimes addictions is fated, and what I mean by that is that you could have had a soul contract that you would have trouble, that you would have an addictive personality, or maybe you would have trouble with alcohol. And that's the fate of it, like maybe you wanted to learn in this life that how to overcome codependency. So you may find yourself in a lot of codependent situations, or where you're a people pleaser, or you make decisions based off of how others feel and not how you feel, right? Like, there's just different things that are on your soul map. There's different karmic lessons that we choose before we come into on this earth, okay? So, but how this works is that, let's say you're a healer, okay? Like, you have the spirit, or you have the energy of wanting to help people in some way. Now, the fate is that you're a healer. But the destiny is, what form of healing do you want to go into, right? So you could be a doctor. You could be a nurse. You could be a massage therapist. You could be a psychic medium. You could be a life coach. You could be a motivational speaker. You could be a teacher. I mean, there are so many different, and even while saying that, there's a lot of different branches off of those careers or those forms of healing. So fate is you being a healer, and destiny is what kind of healer you're going to be. And then on top of that, if you even choose to be a healer. So you could be a healer, right? You could be the person that everybody calls to talk about the problems, your friends, your family, just random people. But choose not to charge for it, and choose not to acknowledge your gifts and abilities. And instead, maybe you decided to have a 9-to-5 job because that's what you were taught growing up, and you never chose, or you never separated yourself and your vision from maybe your families or society. So here you are, fate being the healer, but where your free will and your destiny comes in is if you actually choose that. And so maybe you were a healer again, but your whole life you decided to work at like Walmart. And you decided to work your way up at Walmart, and become like the GM of Walmart or something. And that's the life you chose. So that means that all those decisions that you made all those little tiny decisions that you made to work at Walmart, stay at Walmart, keep being promoted at Walmart, and not really acknowledge your ability as a healer, that's free will. So, and here's the thing about that is like, if your purpose was to be a healer of some sort, but you decided to work at Walmart because you never really had your own vision or believed in yourself enough, or, you know, you were too caught up in the visions of others and what they thought you should do, or you're afraid to take risk, then your life is going to take a completely different direction. And life doesn't just say, hey, no, you're not going to work at Walmart. Here's what you're going to do. Like, that's not how life is. You know, I do believe that your guides and your angels and, you know, there's earth angels. I do believe that people come along the path to keep showing you who you are. Like, you know, you have reminders along the way of what you could do, and who you could be, but you still have to make the choice, because your karmic lessons also tie into that. You know, like, you choosing to be free of what other people think of you, or you taking a risk to do what you really came here for, instead of doing what maybe your mother and your father did, you know? Those are all choices. These are all choices. And one choice leads to another choice, leads to another choice. But one choice could completely alter your life in the direction that it's going to go. You have a choice. Like, nobody comes to save you. Nobody maps it completely out for you, and then you're a robot and you just walk that path. Like, free will really, I mean, I'm going to go to say that, you know, 95% of what you do is free will, you know? And, you know, here's the other thing too, okay, as far as soulmates are concerned, is we have tons of soulmates, soul family. Some soul family are, you know, literally family and friends, or people that we don't get along with. It just depends on the lessons that we're learning from these people and the lessons that they're learning from us. And then some soulmates are romantic. And you probably have a ton of these people in every state of the country if you live in America, right? You know, like, you have tons of soulmates in soul family, soul connections on some level. So how this works is, fate is the meeting of these people. Like, you know, if you meet a romantic soulmate, that's fate. But you still have free will. You still have a choice whether you're going to choose Ricky over Carlos. You know what I'm saying? Or whether you decide to even give Ricky a chance, because maybe your soul decided by the age of 13 you would meet Ricky if you hadn't learned the lesson of let me see. What would be a soul lesson here? Because soulmates also teach us lessons. Every person that's in your life that is a soulmate of some form is there to teach you lessons, and you are meant to learn from them, and they're meant to learn from you. So let's say you decided that if by age 13 you didn't learn the lesson of personal power, you know, if you didn't already learn that lesson, then Ricky would come into your life. But Ricky comes into your life and you're not really on schedule as far as, you know, what you're learning. So you may not recognize Ricky, or you may push Ricky away and say, Rick, you know what I mean? Like, I can't. I mean, 13's a little young for that, so maybe I should change the age. Let's just say by 20, okay? By that time, you know, you're not standing in your personal power yet. And so maybe you do meet Ricky, but you don't recognize Ricky as your soulmate, or you do recognize Ricky on some level of recognition, but because you've separated yourself from the world so much, you don't give Ricky a try. Well, that was free will. So now you've chosen another path. You see what I mean? And then maybe next you'll meet Carlos at age 22. You know, and maybe at the time you meet Carlos, you may also meet Johnny. And now you have a choice between picking Johnny or Carlos. But the universe doesn't say, you're not picking Johnny, you're going to pick Carlos. Like, that's not how this thing works. Like, you have to choose. You have to choose the path that you're going to go down. It is a series of choices, and every choice that you make takes you down a path. And sometimes you're going in the same place, but, you know, you're going the long way. Sometimes you go the short way. It just depends on your evolution. It's not like you can miss the bus. You know, you could take longer to get somewhere, or you just do it next lifetime. Because some people don't choose their highest potential in a lifetime. You know what I mean? Sometimes people choose to, like, just kind of stay the same and stay still for a whole life. And then they'll learn and they come back and do it again. I mean, that's how it works on the spiritual path. I mean, I think that's how it works for everybody, but that's just my opinion, you know. But that's how it works. I just really want you to understand that it's about your free will. It's about your choice. And most of your life will be about your choices, like, and your evolution, and your choice to grow and evolve. Like, that's what this is about. Nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to come pick you up and put you on a path. You know what I mean? Like, you're not on a string and somebody's just, like, you know, moving you to the direction you need to be going in. Like, I mean, even if you look at your life right now and you look at some of your habits, some of the things that you're doing, look at the longest habit you've had, or look at, you know, just how long you've been in the relationship you've been in, or, you know, whatever it is that you do. These are all choices, you know, and the only difference between your life and somebody else's, other than, you know, your soul lessons and your soul path, is your